Here is the 2025 Toyota Camry XSE and Underground. This is all new this year. 4 different trims, increase in horsepower, and all trims are hybrid configuration. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and I'm gonna go over the pros and cons, the problem that I have with the new generation and comparable rivals. We're gonna start off with 5.4 inches of clearance. We're losing 0.3 inches this year. When you go XSE and SE, that's going to be kind of the sporty of the vehicles because you also receive the sport tuned suspension. The front fascia is going to have the same design as the Crown, which I appreciate that because I'm getting some savings. It's going to integrate into the new C-structure dual LED headlights and daytime runnings. The SE and the LE will get a bi-LED headlight and daytime runnings. The lower is going to get the side splitter with a touch of the gloss black. And the enlarged grille is going to have the same color as the body when you go XSE, opposed to the SE where it'll be matte black there and on the lower splitter. All trims are going to receive the 2.5 liter 5th generation hybrid, which gets a combined of 225 horsepower with 163 pound-feet of torque that's paired to an ECVT transmission, achieving 48 mpgs for the city, 47 mpgs for the highway. We've lost 42 pounds, and if you go into the LE, we lost 30 pounds. But we're losing mpgs this year. We're gonna gain 2 mpgs for the city, losing 3 mpgs for the highway, and a combined loss of 1 mpg. XSE is gonna get the largest wheel, 19-inch. It's gonna be a bi-color, black and gray, or you can get these upgraded gloss gray wheels, which looks super sporty, and I would probably fork out the extra dough for it if I'm going this route. Going into the XLE and the SE will be an 18-inch, and the LE will be a 16-inch. The lower skirt's going to flare out. The XSE gets the integrated turn signals on the side view mirrors. Auto unlock and lock is only going to be on the front door, even if you option it as a package going into lower trims, which is a con for me because this is the new generation. So I would like to see that integrated on all the doors. We have the large panel moonroof that's also going to get the gloss black for the roof with the shark fin antenna, increasing 0.8 inches length and 0.6 inches taller than the prior gen. Thinking about rivals like Hyundai and Honda, this is going to have the most performance and horsepower. It's going to lose in mpgs for the highway to Hyundai, and it's going to outclass them on everything else. The trunk lid spoiler gets the gloss black. Gloss black inserts behind the Camry badging as well as the badging, integrating into the new C-structure combination LED taillights, and the lower bumper will get the same color as the body with the diffuser, dual exhaust outlets. Toyota Safety Sense 3.0 has been integrated this year. You will have to option a 360-degree reverse camera. And going back to the rivals, all of which will have multiple powertrains. Even if you go into Subaru, which they'll integrate turbocharged, the ECVT transmission is going to be a common trait for hybrid technology, whether you go Honda or Toyota. But if you want to get a 6-speed, you have to go into the Hyundai. That's the only trim that will option it. Quick release going into 15.1 cubic feet, which is the same as the prior gen. You're going to get the bag holders to start off with. Underneath the floor gets a spare tire, and to split fold the rear bench, you just do so in the back by pulling the levers, and that's going to maximize cargo. You'll still receive the same couple of inches of a lip, so it's not necessarily a flat floor, but it has plenty of an opening. 10-way power seat adjustment for the driver, leather wrap seating, 8-way power seat adjustment for the passenger. Heated front seats is standard on the XLE, and the XSE ventilated is an option, as well as memory for the driver. Headroom and leg room. The SE and the XSE get the sport pedals, still keeping the driver focus setup. The gloss black that brushes into the passenger side. Instead of cloth, you're going to get soft tech leatherette here with the 12.3 information display, standard Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, it's wireless, Sirius XM AM FM streaming Bluetooth audio. Put it into reverse, and you're going to have a reverse camera. You can option a 360-degree reverse camera with bird's eye view, but one thing that I dislike is it doesn't cover up the whole 12.3 inches. It literally only does about 8 inches. Dual climate control settings is standard, a flat dashboard layout, optional heads-up display that's 10 inches with an option for JBL 9 speakers. Standard in all of the Camrys is a 6-speaker setup. Wireless charging pad is standard with the USB ports and that large storage cubby and the key fob for the new Camry. Soft-Tech leatherette is going to be around the gear lever. Sport, normal, and eco mode, that's going to be standard, but here's going to be more soft. That opens up with a 12-volt and it's pretty deep storage pocket. Leather wrap steering wheel, multi-function. The paddle shifts, that will do the regenerative braking. And the gauge cluster is going to be a 12.3 information display that can go through an array of information for the driver. And you can also toggle through all sides to change out the whole layout. On the SE, you can option this. With a auto-dimming rear view mirror, long panel moonroof, dashboard and door panel configure in together, and you have the same button scheme as the prior gen, but soft materials are going to come into the door. And you'll get one touch up and down for the windows. It's a little bit more soft to rest your arms with a medium-sized storage pocket and a beverage holder carved out. Headroom and leg room. You're going to have storage behind both of the front seats. Air vents, USB ports, cup holders with an armrest. Door is going to have the same materials that's found in the front on this area here. So you're going to be stripped to the pattern here, but you will have more soft materials than the LE and the SE with a smaller size storage pocket. Sliding into the center, feet space isn't going to be too bad, nor is butt, leg, and shoulder space. Headroom though, with the pano, becomes a little tight. You got to kind of sit up or you sit back here because of the way it is designed for the headliner. The refreshed Camry only coming in a hybrid variant, increasing from last year's hybrid, 17 horsepower, sport tune suspension. Yeah, you could do some maneuvers. I wouldn't go crazy. This is a family sedan. And you're getting optimal MPGs when you go up the tier. Now, when you go down the tier, unfortunately, you will lose a little bit of MPGs for the highway and combined, meaning the LE. But when you go XSE, you're getting a great blend. It's just over 40 grand. So when you're thinking about a package in whole, it's awesome because of what you're getting overall in value. Unfortunately, can't do things about people that don't know how to drive. You just go around them. It's so much easier. It's going to take me to some pros and cons, and starting off with the pros for the new Camry. You're getting Lexus components inside for a fraction of the price. It's smoother, it's more quiet. The exterior design, it's more sporty. For some cons, we only get one power option. We have a sport tune suspension. It's not needed. It doesn't really alter the drive. The interior doesn't increase in storage, nooks, or even cargo capacity, and yet we've gained 0.8 inches of a length. The 7-inch or 12.3 digital reader, it's not really a huge difference, so I wouldn't option it if I was in a different tier than the XSE. And optioning features like a heads-up display, a 360-degree reverse camera, the sound system, there's a lot of packages that you can configure, which can get a little confusing, and Toyota does that sometimes with the trims, but now they're doing it with the features. As for competition, hands down, it's going to have a lot more soft amenities in the interior, and that's a lot derived because we're getting Lexus components inside. The styling to it, I think that it looks a little bit more classy, but if you're looking for that more sporty look, I feel like Hyundai for the Sonata, they kind of knocked it out of the ballpark because they actually have an inline, which you can get it a little bit more sporty. Now, that's not going to be the hybrid trim. They only have an SE and a Limited. But they did the same thing where you can option features. So I applaud both of them for doing that, because when you go into Honda, you have to go up the tier in order to get features. Subaru, you have a couple different engine options as well, but then the interior, the sound deadening is not going to be as quiet as this. Plus, all of them will have either a CVT or eCVT transmission, except for Hyundai. They will have a 6-speed automatic transmission, which can be a pro or a con depending on which field you are for the transmission specs. I do like that we're getting a lot more standard amenities, and at least everything's digital this year. But in the same category, I'm all right with not having a digital screen for a Camry, because this is an everyday driving vehicle. You're expecting to pay around 30, 40 grand, get some features, or loaded up in the mid $40,000 price range. So they've kind of priced it out good. But then when you're considering the Prius, that's the sweet spot now, because you could get that less than this. You're getting better MPGs. It's going to be a little bit more sporty design because it's a hatchback. Plus you have more cargo capacity than this. And not receiving a TRD this year or even a GR Camry, to me, is a con because I like the TRD. It had the V6. I know it was option on the SE trim. It was lower to the ground, had the catback exhaust. It was just a little bit more exciting. And when you're thinking a family sedan, you don't usually get anything that's going to be inexpensive with a soundtrack to it. Now the Camrys are only in hybrid configuration, which I'm also fine with that, because if you are thinking about the Crown, that's kind of an SUV slash sedan. This is going to have some of the same components, and you're going to get savings yet again and better MPGs. But if you want performance, you have to go up to the Crown, which can go over 60 grand, which is almost double the price of the XSE. And this is what you get. It's still not so noisy, and that's derived for the hybrid powertrain. The problem that I have, you can get similar features to the XSE, which, why did they even option features on these vehicles that would be so similar? Because if you drop it to the XLE, you'll still get a savings and you get almost everything you get in an XSE package. Just overall, I think Toyota did a great job with the refresh, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise, website, and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like. And I'd like to thank Gettle Stadium Toyota for giving us this 2025 Toyota Camry XSE for our car review.